Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
Nice job by the defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
Now Wilson on second down. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. After the interception, here's Lynch. And that's the first NFL catch for Cortland Sutton. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, that's Jackson. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Now Lynch to throw. And caught by Sanders. Touchdown Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders from 19 yards away. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Well, these Seahawks heading out here on offense. Let's talk about last year. One to forget, Charles, in the Pacific Northwest. 7-9, a seat on the couch in January for these players, and that broke a streak of 5 straight seasons of double-digit victories and a playoff berth.
And I think they lost their identity a little bit along the way. On offense, they've always been a run-first team.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you've got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Lynch, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let it go. Got his man. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Denver. Demaryius Thomas, 26 yards. And the Broncos will extend their lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On second down, here's Wilson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On first down, Wilson. Toward the sideline, that's hauled in by Marshall. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Brandon Marshall, 55 yards. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski adds the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Out to kick is Janikowski. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. These Broncos coming off 2 years of not making the playoffs after winning Super Bowl 50. And last year in Vance Joseph's first season, they went 5-11, had an 8-game losing streak. Now, look, the defense remained elite. But the quarterback carousel, the general lack of offensive production really led to a disappointing 2017.
And in order for them to reverse that, they've got to continue to play to their strength, which is their defense. And they did that by drafting Bradley.
They got his man complete. And he's brought down after a good game. A gain of 32 that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
We keep talking about the impact that hybrid players have had on the NFL, those guys who can do multiple things. I think Cam Chancellor fits that perfectly. Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? No, he's a football player.
And they love him in Seattle. He's been there ever since he came in the league in 2010. On 2nd down, here's Lynch. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Lynch now, work to do, certainly, after that sack. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Lynch. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm going to work. Come on. 4 down. Check. 4 down.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. It's caught, Lockett. Chewing up big yardage, another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this down to the 8. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. On second down, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Hey, tempo, tempo, tempo.
On third down, Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Von Miller coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. Sebastian Janikowski to try the Seahawks field goal. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Returnable here for Davis. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you could kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. On third and 1, it's Lynch. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Marquette King now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll run with McKisson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
It's caught right side, Dixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second down, Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. So the Broncos coming out now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
On 1st and 10, it's Lynch. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
On 1st down. Being chased out left. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Lynch looking to throw on 2nd. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll find Sutton on the right side complete. 23 yards on the play. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And McManus able to put it through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
So we've reached halftime here on... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Lynch will lead up the Broncos here with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Lucky 56.
Throwing here, Lynch on 1st down. He's going to let the... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 36 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On 1st down, it's Lynch. Flushed out right and avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Leopard! Leopard! Gun! 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 Gun!
On 2nd down, Lynch. On the crossing route, he hits Demaryius Thomas. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there, a 22.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Lynch now throwing on 3rd. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And McManus able to put it through, and they dump
the cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence.
And we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
14.
Now Wilson on first down. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
At the 44. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
Can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing again here, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. First down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone. Now let's go. Gone.
Looking to throw on second down. Lynch. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
The Broncos on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone. All right, now, lucky 56.
Here's Lynch to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punter King to send it away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. On first down, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
On second down, here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now Wilson to throw on third down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Domata-Peko able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just outside his own goal line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Lynch. Fighting to stay upright. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Lynch again. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Now it's Lynch. Flushed out right. Lynch fighting, and he lost the football. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Well, there you go. You said someone was going to have to step up, force a turnover. That's exactly what they needed.
Yeah, now they need to capitalize, get this back to a one-score game. From there, anything can happen.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's McKissick. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Gotta go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Go 14.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. This is complete. It's Baldwin. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Tempo. Go 14.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. This complete to Lockett. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
14, run it.
The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And yet again, nowhere to run. This time maybe we'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Janikowski bangs it through, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. Now after the made field goal, here's Sebastian Janikowski to kick it away. Returnable here for Davis. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Detroit! All right, now, look at 56. Look at.
Oh, Lynch going to throw. Flush to his right. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Leopard! Detroit! Check three. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Detroit! Gun!
Here's Lynch. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. The Broncos on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
Now it's Jackson. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a 1st down.
Tempo, tempo.
He'll look to throw. It's caught. Lockett. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go.
One last shot for Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.